There you President Bieber.
Yeah.
Yo, what's up? Like, I'm calling you and answering.
Yeah, that was low.
That was weird,
That was crazy.
That was weird. They did not run through Bieber.
There was... Why you not answering your phone? Like, yo.
What's up, man? You good?
I'm good. How are you?
All right, young brother, everything's good?
Everything's
Selling
great.
out arenas and everything? Starting to act different, huh?
No,
you ain't been calling me and hanging out the way we used to hang out.
Well, I mean, you tried to get in contact with me, through all my, partners and whatnot.
Mm-hmm.
But you never really got my number, so.
Right, okay.
My number?
Yeah.
My number.
Yeah.
50 Cent reveals the deleted Netflix tape linking Diddy, Justin Bieber, and Usher. For years, it played out in plain sight, reduced to background noise, brushed off as jokes, viral clips, and harmless moments no one thought twice about. But looking back now, the signs feel impossible to ignore. Why was a child present in environments clearly meant for adults? It's a question that never gained traction, until 50 Cent reignited the conversation by referencing a reportedly deleted tape linked to Netflix. Suddenly, everything changed. The laughter stopped. The internet leaned in. Old footage was replayed with a new lens, and what once seemed trivial now feels deeply unsettling.
What's going on with you guys? Are you working together?
I'm not. I mean, I think that we've become friends in a strange way, you know.
Like Robin Big.
Yeah. It's like exactly.
I'm Big and you're Robin.
Yeah. No, I mean, to a lot of us, he's like a little brother. You know what I'm saying? He's not afraid to call and ask for advice. He's somebody that, in the industry-wise, the record industry is a strong family, and he's somebody that, we definitely have our arms around, and we want to protect him because he's such genuinely a nice person. Besides his talent, you know what I'm saying? He's one of the greatest kids that you could ever know.
Justin, Diddy bought his son a Bentley. Maybe, he could buy you one also while you're out.
Got me a Lamborghini.
That's nice.
I haven't gotten it yet, though.
Yeah, I know. When is that coming, that Lamborghini? We talked about this last time.
He had the Lamborghini for a day or two, and he had access to the house, and he knows better than to be talking about the things that he does with Big Brother Puff on national television.
A resurfaced clip circulating online has sparked renewed debate around an interaction involving Justin Bieber and Sean Diddy Combs, where viewers interpret a brief exchange as a young artist being encouraged to take his time and stay close while navigating early fame. The moment, once overlooked, is now being re-examined through a much more critical lens, with audiences questioning the dynamics of influence, access, and control around rising talent in the industry. What makes the discussion even more complex is that similar conversations have resurfaced involving earlier mentorship narratives connected to Usher, where industry relationships were once openly described as guidance and development. Today, those same stories are being revisited and reinterpreted, with some viewers drawing comparisons and questioning long-standing power structures in entertainment. While none of these interpretations are confirmed as fact, the pattern of resurfacing clips and shifting public perception continues to fuel intense online discussion, blurring the line between mentorship, influence, and how the industry once operated behind the scenes.
Higher.
But if you look at the way Justin Bieber look at Puffy, he hates that nigga. He hates that nigga. That man's face ain't just dropped soon as he wanted to go get a wife. That man's whole fucking face, that's some medical. That man young and healthy, man. But he terrified. You remember when I said a lot of people happy you locked up right now, Puff? He's one of them. That's why I'm speaking. He's one of them. One of the people that you terrified who couldn't get from under your claws. That's why Puffy trying to help her get back out here. He know. These bitches want to see me fall.
Now what we doing, we can't really disclose, but it's definitely a 15-year-old's dream. When he signed to Usher, I had legal guardianship of Usher when he did his first album. I did Usher's first album. I don't have legal guardianship of him, but for the next 48 hours, he's with me. So and we gonna go full buck fool crazy.
Justin Bieber's rise was often framed like a modern fairy tale, a gifted teenager discovered early, rapidly pushed into global stardom, and surrounded by the machinery of fame before he was fully grown. But beneath the polished success story was a much more complicated reality, a minor moving through high-pressure industry environments dominated by adults, where access, loyalty, and proximity could shape an entire career trajectory. In that kind of ecosystem, boundaries can become blurred, and saying no isn't always simple when everything depends on staying in favor. Over the years, rumors and online speculation have occasionally circulated around figures like Sean Diddy Combs, often amplified through whispers, commentary, and unverified claims. While much of it remained in the realm of internet discussion, it contributed to an atmosphere of suspicion that was frequently dismissed or ignored at the time. Voices raising concerns were often pushed aside, treated as exaggeration or industry drama rather than something substantive. Among those voices was 50 Cent, who has repeatedly positioned himself as an outsider willing to comment on the industry's power dynamics, while distancing himself from certain inner circles. His remarks, once brushed off as rivalry or provocation, are now being re-examined by some audiences in light of ongoing legal scrutiny surrounding entertainment figures. None of these narratives are confirmed as fact, and much remains based on speculation and interpretation. But the resurfacing of old interviews, clips, and commentary has led many to reconsider how the industry was discussed in earlier years, and whether certain warnings were simply overlooked at the time.
Look at Usher. What Usher say? I seen some things I shouldn't have been seeing at that age. What does that tell you? That he's seen some things, he was around some things when he was young that he shouldn't have been at a Diddy party. So that's going to show you that there's certain things that are happening that's going on that here it is, this kid was saying he shouldn't even seen it and been around it himself. So all the other celebrities who saw it and they stand quiet about it. Ain't that in our culture? No snitching. And I felt a certain way when Usher got on Shay Shay, and I don't mean to mention other people's platforms, but he got on Shay Shay and he mentioned how great and how good Puff taught him and everything. You know what I'm saying? About the business, right? I know, and people know, that was around that in that time that Puff and Usher did have a situation. And that situation led Usher to the hospital. Now I let Usher explain that to y'all. I let Usher tell that story. But how dare you say a man that groomed you, you gonna give him a pass? Bruh, you know, some people don't even know the fucking truth. It has smacked them dead in the fucking face, brother. But I tell you one thing, it's from my mouth to God's ear. And all these clowns can say whatever they want to say. Like I'm just saying, he lived a rock and roll lifestyle when I was with him, bro. I don't know about his sex addiction and stuff like that. He was a totally different person, bro. When I try to tell people that, they don't understand that. He was probably doing some of the little snake shit, doing some things and stuff like that, but the magnitude and what he was doing with the freak off parties and all like that, I didn't experience that with him. That was not my experience with Diddy or Puffy or Puff Daddy. That wasn't my experience with him.
And you had no idea who Usher was when you heard about him?
I didn't know who Usher was at the time. It's all gonna come out some kind of way, bro. All this is God's, this is something that was put in place, and it was designed by God, brother, for all this to happen and go down like this.
What circulating footage appears to show is Justin Bieber being gradually welcomed into parts of the entertainment elite, publicly embraced, referred to as a little brother, and included in celebratory moments that, on the surface, resemble mentorship and success. To audiences at the time, it looked like validation, a young star being accepted by established figures in the industry. But in hindsight, some viewers now point to the clear imbalance of power in those environments. Bieber was still a minor, navigating fame while surrounded by adults who controlled access, opportunities, and influence. That dynamic has since become a point of broader discussion about how early fame can place young artists in highly uneven professional settings. Online commentator Jaguar Wright has also made claims suggesting that Sean Diddy Combs was aware of Bieber early in his rise and present around the same industry spaces, though these statements remain unverified and widely debated. In that same narrative space, attention often shifts to established artists like Usher, who played a documented role in Bieber's early career development and mentorship within the music industry. While interpretations of these moments vary widely and many claims remain speculative, the renewed focus reflects a larger conversation about how power, mentorship, and responsibility intersect when young talent enters high-level entertainment circles.
Bieber, he dropped the song. It went over our heads. It's actually about P. Diddy this whole time. Which video? The song Lonely. Let me see.
Everybody knows my best. House always made it flat. But maybe that's the price you pay for the money and fame at an early age.
He even came out and said stuff about how when he was younger, he was being taken advantage of, which is true. The problem was being a victim of the diddler. What happens? Because he has so much dirt on you, if you go out into the public, he may have videos, he may have embarrassing things, he might even have incriminating footage of you doing things that you were forced to under the influence to do.
It's not our fault that Justin Bieber got fucked by Diddy.
It's not our fault that Usher didn't want to get fucked by Diddy anymore. It is not our fault that Usher didn't want to get fucked by Diddy no more.
Yo, son, the nigga wanted to be rich, son.
Listen to me. He turned Justin Bieber into a pocket pussy with the fuck sauce.
The nigga wanted to be rich,
They put the baby on. Yo, I put the coke in your car. Yeah. I put the coke in your car. That Bieber shit is wrong. You're gonna walk away.
With that being said,
I put the coke in your car.
This is where the narrative becomes more controversial and heavily debated. Jaguar Wright has made public statements questioning the broader culture of mentorship and influence within the music industry, including figures like Sean Diddy Combs and Usher. However, it's important to note that many of these claims are allegations and personal interpretations rather than verified facts. The concern she raises centers on a recurring pattern often discussed in entertainment commentary: how young artists, once mentored within high-powered industry environments, may later find themselves in positions of influence over the next generation. Critics describe this as a potential cycle within celebrity culture, while others strongly reject that framing as speculative and unproven. In Usher's case, his early career relationship with Diddy is well documented in terms of mentorship and industry development, but the nature of their personal dynamics and any broader implications remain subjects of public debate rather than established fact. Ultimately, what emerges is a larger conversation about power, responsibility, and boundaries in entertainment, where documented history, public perception, and online commentary often overlap in ways that make clear conclusions difficult to draw.
The leaked video of Justin Bieber partying with P. Diddy has just emerged, and it looks horrifying. Bieber was not in his right state of mind. Here's the video.
Oh, he's bad boy now.
Look at that. Whoa, look at that.
Here's your icon alert.
Look at that.
It's called,
Does that look normal to you guys? What's going on here? He gets down on his knees, starts drinking. Diddy right there. Look at his eyes.
Out of Usher, I wish somebody would come out and just like sue him. Like, we need Usher. No, we do. We need a victim to come out and be honest about him, because what I'm realizing is that he's gonna fake the funk until the victim, man. He's just gonna keep on sucking the devil's. And I don't know, you know, like with a baby, that pacifier, sometimes you gotta pull it out. You know what I'm saying? And take it away, right? When the babies, you sucking on the pacifier. That motherfucker gonna keep sucking on that shit until you do what? Till you take it out the mouth. Now it's gonna scream and holler, but eventually it will get used to the fact that his mouth is no longer full with that object. And that it's time to just, learn how to live without it. He been sucking on Diddy's dick a long time. It's time for him to learn how to make this thing happen without the devil's dick in his mouth or ass.
You don't think if he sued, he'll just Lil Woody the situation? And I don't recall. I don't recall.
No, because I think if a victim comes out against Usher, it'll show how egregious this shit is. Because if he can be a predator, then anybody can be a predator.
In this narrative, Justin Bieber didn't simply grow up and move on. He stepped back. That distinction matters. From Jaguar Wright's perspective, the industry often protects itself through silence, passing young artists from one powerful circle to another, rather than confronting uncomfortable truths. In her view, the cycle continues precisely because so little is ever said out loud. When she looks at Bieber today, she doesn't just see a global superstar. She sees someone who may have navigated experiences most people will never fully understand. She points to a widely discussed interview moment where Bieber spoke about Billie Eilish, his voice unsteady, emotions visible, as he expressed a desire to protect her from the darker sides of the industry. For many observers, that moment now carries a deeper weight, suggesting that behind the fame, there may be a story far more complex than it once appeared.
They're not seeing what the intentions was in his heart when he took Justin Bieber there.
Oh.
Let's be honest. He took Justin Bieber there. Diddy had been trying to get to Bieber for a minute. And his management was backing him off. But it wasn't until Usher took over management and had guardianship and gave temporary guardianship to the diddler for 48 hours. Think about that. He had already been to the hospital. That situation that Gene was talking about. And you still took Bieber there. But you got custody of him first. Diddy had already tried. They wouldn't let him. Actually, someone made reference to the fact that Diddy trying to get at Bieber the way he was trying to get at Bieber was looking a little predatory. And then Usher came in and discovered it and managed him and got custody of him and promised to look after him. And then he sent him to the diddler. Does that sound like a good guy?
It's horrible.
Does that sound like a good guy? Now that we know what Diddy's really like. What kind of fucking asshole do you gotta be to take another boy, another talented boy, and put him in your place so it ain't gotta be?
Justin Bieber, I have no knowledge, they're not alleging his name in any of this, but Justin Bieber was very young when he came into Diddy's circle. And that tape you referenced of the two of them about to spend 48 hours together or having just was disturbing. And there's no question he had a lot of exposure to this guy. And I think he should say something. But now if he's a victim, he's in a very difficult spot because he's been abused.
Yeah.
And this brings up a lot, especially for a man.
Yeah.
It's very hard to go out and say that this has happened to you. But if he was a victim, God forbid, I encourage him to do it because you need someone strong like that to break the dam. You know, right now, Cassie's out there. She's been twisting in the wind for a year.
Jaguar Wright argues that moment carried far more weight than it appeared on the surface. In her view, that level of emotion doesn't come out of nowhere. It reflects something deeply personal. She believes Justin Bieber's reaction suggests an awareness of the hidden pressures young artists can face, shaped by his own early experiences in the spotlight. Wright goes further, suggesting that the industry itself often recognizes warning signs but fails to act, allowing situations to unfold while those in positions of influence remain silent. And her telling, it's not just about one individual. It's about a system where awareness exists, but intervention doesn't always follow.
Usher look like he fresh off a goddamn plane. Usher fresh off the garden stage. That's my brother right here from day one. We used to wake up and, damn, pause, but like, that's back in the days when he was like 10 and I was a little bit older, his older brother, we used to fight over the Frosted Flakes. You know what I'm saying? Before pause was invented. You know what I'm saying? But it's my brother for real. We used to actually wrestle off of the Frosted Flakes because he used to always get up early with me. Now he's one of the richest dogs in the world. And
What did Puff just say? Nobody's going to acknowledge this but me. Puff just said we used to wrestle over the Frosted Flakes, and we're streaming live. That was stupid. Listen, that was stupid. Listen,
having a good time.
Usher is a procurer. And if Usher knew what was going to happen to any of those young children that he took to the Flavor Freak off, is he a good guy? Especially considering what happened to him. Especially considering that he sat Howard Stern, and Howard Stern said, would you send your kids to Puffy's Flavor Camp? And his immediate response was, hell no! So it's good enough for everybody else's kids, but it's not good enough for yours. Yours are just good enough to die in Lake Lanier with no real investigation. Got it? Like, these aren't good people!
All right, Jeff.
He's not good! He's a... And the simple fact that Justin Bieber literally made a public statement and said, Usher asked me to do the Super Bowl with him and I turned it down.
Run for the hills.
Why would he turn it down? Who turns down the Super Bowl?
Because the truth is, Usher don't really make that kind of money. And I'm really just kind of sick and tired of Usher reigning.
Yeah,
I'm really kind of disgusted with Usher reigning, who does Greek wrestling nude with men over Frosted Flakes, allegedly. Like, I'm sick and tired of this guy who everyone knows got the Diddy bumps, who's been sued for passing them on and lost, is still sitting there disgracing women in front of their men who bought the tickets to like that whole scheme.
He's causing a lot of divorce courts.
But why? He don't even want them. He don't want them women. He's literally doing it just to destroy relationships.
Allegations surrounding Sean, Diddy, Combs, and Justin Bieber have taken on new intensity, with some voices suggesting there may be more behind the rumors than previously thought. According to Gene Deal, he has heard discussions about a purported tape that is said to be circulating, though these claims remain unverified. What adds to the intrigue in his account is the suggestion that it may not involve just one figure. Instead, he hints at the possible involvement of another high-profile individual, someone described as influential and deeply connected within the industry. If true, it would expand the conversation far beyond a single name, raising even more questions about what remains unseen and who else might be connected to it.
Yeah, well, she's crazy. She's a superstar.
Superstar, right? So you're there and you see her and you see the way she's reacting to you. And I wonder what was going through your mind, because I've never had a chance to ask you that, because I know what was going through her mind because I've never had a chance to ask her that. And it's pretty clear in the video what's going through her mind. She can't even. What was going through your mind when you saw that kind of reaction? And also now in the knowledge that you were just coming out of that space yourself.
I wanted to protect the moment. You know, I don't know how many opportunities I'm going to get. You know, we never know how many opportunities we're going to get with anybody. I mean, I'm tearing up thinking about it, just with the Kobe situation, you know. You just never know. And so I just wanted to be a good example, you know, and yeah.
Did you feel protective of her?
Yeah, I definitely feel protective of her. It was hard for me being that young and being in the industry and not knowing where to turn, and everyone, you know, telling me they love me and, you know, just turn their back on you in a second. So yeah, it's hard because I want her to know that, you know, she can count on me, but at the end of the day, I'm never gonna force myself to be in a relationship with her. It has to be natural, right? So I just kind of, you know, let her do her thing, and if she ever needs me, I'm gonna be here for her. But yeah, just protecting those moments, because people take for granted encounters, and yeah, so yeah, I just want to protect her, you know. I don't want her to lose it. I don't want her to, you know, go through anything I went through. I don't wish that upon anybody. So yeah, if she ever needs me, I'm just a call away.
Whether the full truth ever comes to light or not, one thing is clear: these conversations didn't emerge overnight. They've been building for years, shaped by overlooked moments, lingering questions, and voices that some believe were never fully heard. Now, as attention intensifies, past footage and public statements are being re-examined through a different lens, changing how many people interpret what they once dismissed. And once that perspective shifts, it's hard to look at things the same way again. AS for Justin Bieber and Sean Diddy Combs. What comes next remains uncertain, and ultimately depends on real world developments, not speculation.
He was talking about Billie Eilish. And he was like, he was broke, almost in tears. He's like, I just want to protect her. I just want to keep her safe.
Yeah.
What do you think he went through?
Because he knows what's been happening to Billie. Just like everybody knew what was happening to Millie Bobby Brown girl with Drake. These people are monsters. In Harlem, and they asked him what he thought about what was going on with Diddy and if he knew Diddy. And I love Dapper Dan for this. He said, I grew up with his parents. I knew his parents. He said, and what's going on with him has been going on long before him. Now, his father was a government snitch and a bad actor in the criminal world altogether. The woman that they're saying is his mother was a prostitute, no whore. But there's whispers in the streets of Harlem that Diddy's mother isn't alive. Not his biological mother, that woman is his aunt.
Whoa.
There are whispers.
Wait a minute.
There are whispers. Diddy's story is so convoluted, but nobody really likes talking about who he was before he became Puffy. Nobody, like, I would love if I could be granted an interview with him. To interview Diddy now in his most raw state about his life up until the age of 15 only. We got to learn how to stop making Diddy's. What made him him? Now, his pedigree comes from rat background. His father was a rat, snitch, not revered. He turned on Frank Lucas, who was the king of Harlem. And yet, Diddy was able to, siphon off enough of that juice, just enough to get people, but he needed Gene. Think about this. Gene was more of a father figure to Diddy than he was a bodyguard. And Gene was more than a bodyguard, he was an investigator. So when they went separate ways, clearly he couldn't hold up the act in him.
Bean Deal is stepping forward with bold commentary, outlining what he describes as the complex web of relationships connecting Usher, Sean, Diddy Combs, and Justin Bieber. Through his perspective, he points to behind-the-scenes dynamics that the public rarely sees, suggesting layers of interaction that go beyond the polished image presented on stage and in the media. According to these accounts, the story isn't just about collaboration. It's about shifting alliances, personal ties, and the kind of industry relationships that shape careers from the shadows. Whether viewed as insight or interpretation, these revelations offer a rare glimpse into how influence and connection may operate behind the scenes in the music world.
I'm looking at any black guys that are A-listers that's bigger than Diddy. There's only one that I could come up with. And there's a few I could come up with. Will Smith. He's bigger than Diddy. I would think Nick Cannon is bigger than Diddy. Who else on the black that are black actors or black in the business that's an A-lister that's bigger than Diddy that's black? That's hard to think. But then if you got the A-listers, you know, you got to realize he ran with that Rat Pack. And I don't want to even say their names because they said I got their names wrong last time. What's his name? Kushner? What's the other guy? Leonardo? Yeah, his name. Man, I don't keep up with these cats. But I heard that that's not only the tape that's being shopped. There's some other tapes out there, other people too with him. And him doing some things with some other people. So there's quite a few tapes that might be out there, what they're hearing. And I don't want to see the tapes, but I want to know if they're really true. Because if they got if they got some tapes out there and it's with some underage, whether it's celebrities or not, it's gonna be crazy, bro. It's gonna be real